this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. Why is it so dark in here? Because it's nighttime. What is it now? 5:35 p.m. coming out of Costco. Now, this is not my normal Costco. I'm out here visiting my daughter and son-in-law. Been here for a couple of days. I may be here for another day or two. I'm not sure. But I'm burping up all the pizza. But yeah, they're not too far from a Costco, so I decided, hey, I'm gonna go to Costco and get a slice of pizza and a Coke Zero. So that's exactly what I did. And I figured I'll turn on the super night mode on the DJI camera. See how it does in the dark. Yeah, this general area doesn't seem to have a whole lot of street signs, or street lights, I should say. Sounds like it's mostly car headlights that are going to light me up. Headlights and tail lights, I should say. So, this guy's trying to squeeze me over. He's coming out of an area, but he's trying to squeeze into my lane. Well, can't do that because I got to take a right. I can't let him just cut in front of me because I was in the middle of turning to the right as he's trying to come in. He ended up going around me. The thing is, people try to get out of parking lots before other cars don't let them out. But there's nobody directly behind me because there's a stoplight a distance away. Anyway, these are the problems you have as a driver, right? Sometimes people do things, you start wondering why do they do what they do, but they do. So I need to get to the right lane, but the front traffic's not moving enough so I can get to it. All right, here we go. Getting into the right turning lane, past these cars up here. So anyway, I got a phone call from the Hyundai technician saying that he did put the request to Hyundai for a replacement motor for me, which will be a refurbished motor, as we said. And he got the approval from Hyundai. So he says based on that, it'll usually take them a couple of days just to get it packaged up and ready to go to him. So by the time he gets it, he says that could be a week and something. It's got to travel. Well, I don't know where it's coming from. And then he says once we receive it, it'll take a couple of days for them to put it in. So he estimates about a 2-week wait. So I've already had this car now for, a whole week so far. So, it takes a while, I guess. I don't know. It was a week before they even got the approval. And so then we got a couple more weeks. So when the guy had estimated originally, the service writer, that it could take up to about a month, it's going to be about 3 weeks. That's what he's guessing. But you never know. It could take longer than that. So, 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Yeah. When I went to pick up the iPass, which is the tollway automatic toll payment, electronic toll payment thing, I had to go get it out of my car so that I could drive on any of the tollways. And so I was the only one there besides one technician. The place was empty when I went there early in the morning. So we walked in where they service the cars, and I was walking past the cars that are, still there being serviced, and one of the cars had their entire engine pulled out of it. That's going to be like my car. I think this is more common than the Hyundai will let you know. Yeah. Somebody put a comment in my video before and said that he says about 4 or 5 years, I think he said something like that, is what you can expect with a Hyundai before you should probably just get rid of it before you're going to have issues with it. Yeah, I've had my car since 2018. That's when I purchased that's when I first leased my 2019 car was April 2018. Think about that. And they're selling 2019 model years. So I've had mine for, what, 7 years? Something like that. So yeah, that might be about right. It's better to just get rid of it before these problems happen. Now, typically you would have more mileage on the vehicle than I did. I only had 37,500 before we noticed an issue going on, right? I mean, I didn't even get a check engine light until they triggered the check engine light when they were doing the basic servicing for me. And so that's kind of a low amount of mileage before you're having to replace an engine. But yeah, they said that, you know, something broke loose and scratched up the entire lower cylinder, whatever that means. And so maybe it was carbon buildup, like they were saying. So yeah, I don't know. I think going forward, I don't think I would purchase another Hyundai car. I might lease one because in 3 years' time I get rid of the car and don't worry about it at that point, right? And even if within the 3 years, if this happened to the leased car, they would fix it, right? But when you own the car, that's a whole different story now, right? Because now you have to get it fixed because you own it. You got to do something with it. You can't just like scrap it, right? You can't scrap the car. You have to fix it, right? So yeah, I don't think I would buy another Hyundai. Yeah, people have been saying, oh, you should get a Toyota or a Honda. Well, we have a Honda. Yeah, we have the Honda CR-V, and that's a 2011. I think we have about maybe 75,000 miles on it, something like that. It's still going strong. Yeah, that's the one I use when I'm having to transport my my e-bikes, because we put a hitch on it, right? We put a hitch on it, and then I can move all my e-bikes, or when I'm selling off an e-bike, I'll put the hitch on there, put the rack on it, and then put the bike on it and bring it to the police station, which is where I usually meet people when I sell an e-bike, and then give it to them. So I would do another Honda, I think. People mentioned Toyota. Well, I've had Toyota product. Yeah, Mrs. Wright had a Toyota when we first got married. I had two Lexuses, which essentially are Toyotas, right? So yeah, I don't think I'd hesitate in getting either a Toyota or a Honda. The Toyota meaning also Lexus, you know. But I don't see us buying something like a Lexus again either. Now, some people will buy it because they say, you know, it could be your final car. Get something nice. Well, we also look at it this way. If we're not working, if Mrs. Wright retires and all I have is YouTube, the dollar is going to have to stretch all the way till you die. I think I'd rather hang on to the money for emergency purposes. Yeah, I think I would just like to get a reliable, decent car as a replacement if one of the two of these things are having to be replaced, right? Our current vehicles. Get a decent one, but it doesn't have to be super fancy, where it's going to cost us a lot of money. I'd rather save that money in case you need it for emergency purposes. Either that, I got to grow the YouTube channel so it pays for it, all that stuff. If that happens, that's another story. But if that doesn't happen, yeah, I'd rather save that money. So, you know, a more modest Toyota or modest Honda might be what I would do next time if I was going to get another vehicle. So anyway, if you made it through to this far, put a comment what you would do for your vehicle as your final vehicle, let's say. What would you do? Would you get one that was more luxury oriented? A lot of people do that, you know, as their final vehicle. Or would you just get something more practical? Yeah. If I look all red, that's the that's the lights from the tail lights from the guy in front of me. Let me know what you would do, okay? Or have done if you're on your final vehicle. And which brand would you get? Which brand? Okay, let's put it this way. Which brand, which model would you get? And would you buy a new one or a used one? There you go. Or would you lease it? Put that down too. Yeah. All right, that's about all I have for you guys for today. My thoughts are still about, you know, this vehicle because I'm riding this Hyundai Sonata. The Sonata feels really nice. I mean, I would lease a Hyundai Sonata. I just wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't buy a Hyundai car again. Yeah, I would lease it. Then I know in 3 years I got to get rid of it. But again, that's not an economical way of doing it. Well, it could be an economical way of doing it if you think about it. If you can get a low enough lease price on one and no down payment, because my Elantras, the 3 Elantras that I leased, I didn't have down payments. I just had monthly payments, which I think were in the 235 to 250 ranges. It varied over the 3 vehicles that I had. And a lot of times when you get rid of a lease as well, there's a disposition charge of like $500. But I didn't have to pay that either because every time I went to get to bring the car back, I didn't pay a disposition fee. I just said I'm leasing another car, and they said okay, then that's waived. So by the time it got to the final car, the one that I currently have, I says, well, I'm going to buy the car. So then they waived that too. I don't have to pay the disposition because it's not being disposed of. It's being, I'm going to buy it. So there you go. So I don't know if leasing it is the best thing for a final vehicle, but that's the way it is. Anyways, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.